Welcome to this Retune live show, really live today from the set of We Love XR together with Jo and Rio from OBJ.Studio, and we'll also be joined by LoopingLovers later, but we'll talk first to Jo and Rio about what...
He's sitting next to us. So
And here decided,
yeah, that's dramaturgy. Dramaturgy.
Yes. Sorry.
You can't. Oh shit, that was the surprise, Jo. No problem. Yeah, you guys, perhaps you can say a few words about OBJ.Studio. What is OBJ.Studio? What are you doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, we are an experience design studio. Like regular, we are doing installations. Like we are bringing digital into physical in a way. So so the other way around. We build like video installations or interactive installations.
Mm-hmm.
But he was checking mails.
No, I just quit.
Okay. And yeah, we built up 2.5 years ago and had like a fantastic first year, and then Corona came, and we had to restructure ourselves a little bit and had to have a deeper look into digital.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are sitting here. So it's like kind of
in front of digital stage. So.
Yeah, but you're not like the two of you only. You are also part of Ambient. That's also kind of a thing that people might be interested in. How did that come?
Yeah, it's like kind of like Rio and I met in the Schwimmbad and thought about like what we should do together like 3 years ago or something, and we decided to build a studio. And then we thought, it's always the same pity for everyone who's building a studio who wants to do physical stuff. Means you have an idea and then you have to find a partner who helps you to build up the whole thing. And then we thought, come on, let's ask like a partner that we already knew for like a decade. And this was Ambient, and we told them we want to build a studio, and they said like, hey, we wanted to implement like a creative part in our thing to explore the technical possibilities, the creative technical possibilities. And so yeah, it was a deal, and it's kind of we are part of them, but we are also doing the stuff like we are independent on the other side. So it's like a very socialist thing. And thanks a lot if they watch it right now to the CEOs of Ambient, because like they made it happen.
Yes.
Cool. What does Ambient do for the people who don't know them?
Ambient is a big technical provider, around 350
Fix employees.
Yes. So and yeah, they are doing events, ferries, shows. Yeah, not in the moment so much right now, but
But they have like a storage, a lot of storage with a lot of technical stuff, and they rent it out and bring it there and build it up, like rigs, light, projectors, whatever.
Like they have tracking systems, LED stuff, no? Like all the stuff here is like from them. It's like crane camera systems and everything. Like they have like, when we started, they had like over 1,000 projects a year. So it's like, it's like a really heavy thing. And so they are moving a lot of stuff around. And they are in Kassel, Frankfurt, Berlin, and Hamburg. So they have several departments. Also here, like we are in Andels Hotel, Guyana. It's like a 4-star hotel with 550 beds, and in the basement they have like a. Can I show you around? It's like
please. Okay. Where's that exactly? In Mitte, or where is it?
No, it's like near Friedrichshain. It's like Andels Hotel Vienna. So.
Yeah, Landsberger Allee.
Okay. Yeah.
And for example, like they are also partner with them. they built like this XR stage in here. And they also have like other rooms where they also build like conference streaming sets and all this kind of stuff. And they have several location partners where they have like fixed contracts, but they're also doing the EM, the European Mastership in Soccer. They're also building some stuff. All this kind of like they're doing a lot, like concerts and everything you can imagine.
But can you perhaps say a few words about like what you have been working on before this We Love XR? We'll talk about that in a second, but perhaps to give a better idea of what the studio does, perhaps you can talk about like 1 or 2 projects. I can also perhaps I can also show something from your website or something.
Yeah, like
perhaps you can, I don't know, like what I can do, what the easiest thing is to show the to show the website, and you have a big video on there. Let's see. Looks like this. Oh no.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Like
Yeah, but your circle is wrong.
Oh,
I move you in the right spot again.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
No, I don't like this.
Come on.
I'm a in that matter, I'm a perfectionist. Perhaps you can say a few words about what the studio does.
Yeah, this is what we what we are aiming for the whole time. It's like to bring the digital layer into the physical, and here it's very fast cutted, but you see some kind of stuff that we did, like a fashion show, for example, and interactive installations.
With Bilderbuch.
This was the engraved plexi is like for an exhibition with Bilderbuch. There was like a time there was a design studio called Selamix. I think most of the viewers know them. And we did a face filter installation with this kind of curved LED thing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, these curved LED things. I like them a lot.
And for example, this was like starting with talking to Claudia Raphael. She's a friend of us. She's now doing what's the studio?
New format.
New format. You know, they're doing like AR and close filters and stuff like this. And she took us in and asked us like, do you have an idea for an installation? And at this time there was this curved LED in our news feed, so to say. And so we tried to organize it, and Ambien helped us, and so we built it up.
Yeah, and there were a lot of face filters, right, exhibited, but yeah, you can see it like just briefly, right?
From time to time you can get a glimpse. It's like there were like all at this moment all the kind of famous face filter artists were there. So from time to time you see like an LED monolith. So we placed a monolith and tracked it and did some stuff with it. And here Aurora Mititelou, she was working with us as art director for a year. Greetings if she sees us now. And he, for example, has like a tracking system in her hand. Wait, I say.
No, it was before.
Yeah, it was before?
This is you.
I know, but let's wait. we are not in stress, or?
No, we don't have stress.
Here she is.
Yeah.
So it's like a tracking system.
There. Yeah.
With a lot of lights, no? So following her, and it's like a 3-dimensional positioning tool. So you can track 3-dimensional objects like this. Also, it's like a projected cube you can move around. It's like for like theater also, and
it's called Black Tracks.
Yeah, it's like the Black Tracks tracking system. It gives you like a stage position in a 3-dimensional, like just not only one position. So you can map everything that you want that's moving.
Okay, cool. And yeah, like what so you're very much focused on like ambient is a lot of focused on this, but you two are very much focused on a lot of people in one room. That's kind of the thing where your game kind of.
Yes.
So what did you do 1 year ago? Like, or what did you do the last year?
Yeah, so we had to reorientate ourselves a little bit and had to decide if we want to go digital, to be honest, no? Because there was like, for us, it was like in a way clear that this will take at least a year. So, and like we built it up and thought about just like, okay, after 1 year or like one a little bit plus year, you can't just close for a year. So then you lose your, then you lose track and you lose the connection to the topic. And so then we discussed with all art directors and decided to stay physical. That was like a big decision for us to really go into a mood where we thought like, okay, we don't go fully digital now. We stay physical, but we have to add a digital layer. That was quite easy because Aurora Métitelou and Marie Domanger, like three really nice 3D artists, worked with us together. And so we had the digital layer, and then it was kind of a finding process. And there was the New Dawn project, was one of the first things that came up. That was planned as a physical exhibition, but turned out through the Corona thing into a fully digital one.
Yes.
So maybe you're typing it in, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah. New Dawn Digital, is it that?
No, like this was planned as a real exhibition, and we were getting into talk to do the exhibition design in the physical world. Like we wouldn't have built this exactly because there was a zero on the budget. Was the first number, but yeah, here we got in and try to find a way to build something digital that you also could build in a physical world.
Ah, okay.
So, and then Lukas Treibenreif, he's like also sitting over there doing some backups. He was creating.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to get rid of the music. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so if you go in and go left.
Yeah. The first room on the left side, this dark hole.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. This is our room. And it's an endless space. In a way.
Oh, so you don't fall. Okay.
No,
You're floating.
So then we thought about just like building a hemisphere that is so light that you can fly in the room, and then we translated this into digital. And
Can also
in reality, you would have like a double layered LED with a physical built hand that's stuck through it. So, and so we converted this in this, and it's like a touch designer thing, no? And so it's still kind of interactive, and yeah.
But how does it work? Like it looks pretty good here in the browser actually. But is it like what kind of? How does it run in the browser? Is it like Unreal or?
No. It's
maybe you can ask
Lukas.
Yeah.
Lukas, kannst du mal kurz kommen? Kannst du mal kurz? Es ist sehr spontan, aber kannst du mal kurz erklären, wie die Hand funktioniert?
Wie das implementiert ist.
So, okay. What? Where are
Hey,
we?
Lukas.
Hi.
Ja, du bist mit drin. Alles gut.
What's the question? Like,
We can go back to the other. Wait a second. Perhaps that's a bit more. Yeah,
Yeah.
perhaps you could tell us a few words because I was just asking, like, how does this museum work, or like, how does your exhibit work in this digital museum?
yeah, basically it's built in 3D. We had a programmer, an external one, and we were in near contact with him and tried to make our concept work.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
I have to check.
It's like
Adrian Bonner.
Yeah,
Adrian
Bollock.
Bollock. Big
Yeah.
shout out, Adrian Bollock.
Yeah, from London.
Super nice guy. Yeah, super capable. So
We had some really nice nights together, like
Okay.
fixing errors and stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, basically it's 2 videos on each side of the wall, and they're repeating and are instanced into infinity, top and bottom, and are the hand is interacting with it, and you can also see like holes which are made. Yeah,
Sorry.
I can see. Yeah,
And
basically
remember-
the hand is reaching from one reality to the other. That's the whole idea of the concept. There's 2 sides, like
I
one.
didn't walk around it.
Yeah, one side is representing the
Ah.
and the other side the virtual reality, and the hand is kind of connecting these 2 worlds.
Okay, which one is the golden side? Is that the physical or the virtual?
Guess what?
That's not really important in that field, because in the end the whole artwork is called hyperreality, and it's based that these 2 realities collide into one, and you can't really separate anymore. Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, thanks for jumping in quickly for this project.
Bye.
Nice. But I think you also spent a lot of time talking to other people, right? Like we've been talking last year. I had the feeling that you were kind of like in a very like talkative mood to explore what to do next. I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, because you have to do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was a good year for talks with other people and connecting to people all over the world, artists, designers, whatever. So,
Yeah.
and of course, we had a lot of ideas. So because we were stuck in something,
Mm-hmm.
and a good idea was to connect to people and yeah, I don't know. Challenging ideas and think about what can we do, which you told before, was thinking about going to more digital. On the other hand, we don't want to, but what we can do in the meantime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with our power and ideas,
Yeah.
and
and in a way, like we name each like we name OBJ as like a collaborative experience design studio, and this is like for us a very important part, because we are not like, we don't want to be like the designers who design everything. We want to work with people from different fields who are creative and explore new things, and like in a way, like everything that we do is in a way a first of, and we used the time during Corona to to focus more on the connection, because like maybe it's like a short space in time, maybe in 3 years it's different, but the collaboration part with artists is a huge thing for us, because together you can make stuff happen. Alone it's always a pain in the ass for everyone, so to build up his reputation and everything, and like, for example, like what we did like today, we will do in the next time is like to for example work with fantastic people that we always wanted to work with, for example LoopingLovers, if you maybe know them. Or like Zeitgeist, no? Here Henrik was here for a day with like an operation on his knee, and with sticks or on Krücken, no? So just like move here, and was like building his XR world in the studio, and this is like something that that's really our motivation also.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
work with people, to have a nice time with them, and to explore.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, we have talked about, we've talked around this topic of where you are right now and what the project We Love XR is. Perhaps we can talk about that now a bit. So we know where you are, but what is it where you are?
I can show you around. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not. Okay. So, should I tell you a little bit about We Love XR, right?
Yes,
Or
please.
or about the location?
No,
Okay.
about the We Love XR, and yeah, perhaps about the what's it called? Super Studio,
Super room.
Super room. Yeah.
With 1R. Okay, like in general, this is LED floor and LED back. Yeah. So, and then you have a crane camera and a lot of super skilled technicians. Otherwise, like you can try to build it at home, but it's not gonna work. So, and like you have a crane, and so this is like the basic setup. And what extended reality means is like that you can make content on this, but the content will also be in the space that's surrounded by the LED.
Yeah.
So it's like going into the depths. And so to come to the point where we can talk about how we get through to the project was that Ambien gave us the opportunity set up for a artist collaboration. So, and the idea was in September last year. It was the first moment, and then we thought like, okay, let's make one big project, like a one-off. So, and after a while, we thought about it and thought like, okay, when we have the opportunity and want to do one thing, then we are limited with the kind of artist we could work together with. And so we decided to make like 3 projects.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one we wanted to like it's like also like a possibility for you. We wanted to work with typography artists that we really adore and ask them. And now, like a small insight, we didn't plan to do it with 15 different artists, but we thought like let's ask 10. So maybe 5 are up for it. But then the 10 have been up for it, and a little bit of talk, and then we had like 15 at the end. So we were like really blown away by the positive feedback.
But is it 15 or 50?
15 typography artists.
Yeah, okay. Because in total in the project you have 50 even.
It's like to be honest, we have like from day to day it's getting more people in. So it's like right now I think at the end we are talking with 70 people. So, and this is like, to be honest, like also a little bit too much for us. So yeah, it was like building up, and yeah. So this is like something that we are doing now, and we had like a first film with like Rio came up with the idea to ask Sibylle Berg to write a poem. So, and we said like, okay, this could be like a first idea, and then we thought, okay, but Sibylle wouldn't perform it, so we would need somebody who's on stage and performing this poem. And
performing a poem is also an interesting thing. Performing a poem.
Yeah, it's like a kind of spoken word. It's like, yeah. And so it's like, then there's the question like, who would you ask? Like, who would you ask? Okay, so you have a very deep poem that's like really, it's like really about the global situation on every kind of level. Yeah. So, okay, so would you ask? I don't know what's the name. You could like tell me, who would you ask?
I don't know.
So we asked a lot of people, and we had some who wanted to work with us where we had the feeling they are not really fitting because it's not it's like more like a PR stunt for them. And after a while, there was like kind of Berkan popping up, and thanks to Yannick Nolte, by the way, who is doing the PR for
Yannick Hammelmann.
genau, sorry, Yannick Hammelmann, who is doing the PR, and he gave us the idea, and we talked to them, or like Rio, no? You can tell a little bit about the process with Berkan.
Yeah, it was just an idea from Yannick. So it's a friend of him. They are called Beste Musik from Berlin. So, and we asked them, and they gave us the idea to talk to Berkan. And he said yes, and then he did it. So in his own way, it was a really interesting process. And all the typography artists became buzzwords from us to design, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 words for each of them, and then we put these words in this digital XR space, and in between was Berkan and performed the poem.
I have the video here. I can play it
Yes.
if you
Cool.
are fine with that. So it's, I think, 3 minutes. So I'll just play it, the full video, I think.
Can you simultaneously translate it?
I will. No, I won't try. No, but I think it will work for. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, it's in German. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, let's have a look.
Wir sind das Glatte, Neue, Gute. Wir sind für euch noch nicht zu sehen, hier unten, dreuend, wo wir wachsen, dem Neubeginn entgegensehen. So nah beim Kern des Universums, bei dem, was hart ist, dunkel, groß, was sich formiert, in Schränken lagert. Bleibt nur nicht stehen. Ihr müsst jetzt los. Auf euren letzten öden Metern, am Ende von eurem Menschentraum, macht Urlaub, ruht in Ohnmacht leise. Wir sägen hier am Lebensbaum. Ihr hattet 1000 Jahre Zeit, habt nicht genutzt die Macht, die Größe. In eurem Streben stirbt die Welt, wie ihr sie kennt, wie ihr sie gern habt. Das, was hier bleibt auf neuem Boden, gedüngt von eurem kleinen Geist, ist, was wir schaffen, langsam, warten, ist, was wir sind, was es nun heißt. Von vorne werden wir beginnen, als ein Geschlecht, als eine Kraft, die Neues will, die Güte kennt und Leiden, das sie euch verschafft. Ihr habt getötet, was euch schwach schien, was sanft war und voll Fantasie. Was blieb, da seht ihr es gestrandet, mit gelben Füßen hoffnungsvoll. Da gilt es euch erneut erhebend auf andere hinabzusehen. Wo suchend ihr den Blick auch wendet, da ist kein Ort. Ihr müsst nun gehen. Schau an, da sind die klaren Flüsse, der Wald, der Greif, der neue Aal. Für euch, ihr traurigen Gestalten, kommt nun das letzte Abendmahl. Wir spielen jetzt die letzte Hymne, den letzten Song, das letzte Lied. Wir sehen gerne, wie ihr aufgebt, mit freiem Mut ins Feuer springt, wie eure Körper zucken, toben, wenn ihr um euer Leben ringt. Verloren, sagen wir nur lächelnd. Die neue Welt, sie findet statt, wenn sich das letzte Fleisch vom Knochen und euer Hirn gepulvert hat.
Nice. So this is basically like the first exploration you're doing, right?
Like this was this was the first moment where we also get in touch with the XR thing. So and,
Yeah.
there were like a lot of people involved in this process, and except from the ambient crew, who's like skilled in running the system, everybody involved was like a little bit like a first time in this kind of XR setup.
Yeah.
And, for us, it was like we had like crazy ideas to make it like super immersive. But then we decided that the typography itself, like for example, if you extrude every typography to the max or just like let them fly around like hell, you take a little bit the shape of it. And so we decided like for the first one, we stayed very puristic, black and white. Let Berkan do his magic with it. And it's like kind of, to be honest, like that he performed it in this emotional way. It was like for us a new dimension that we just like had when he was doing it the first time. You know, he was on stage and doing it, and we were like, okay. So it was like it was a first off for everyone. And for example, what happens in the background is like they're tracking the LED again with the camera system.
Yeah. Because but I found it very interesting that you're taking back the technology very much in this first video. Like it's really more about like the poem and the typography, and there is of course technology involved, but it's like very like taking it back very much. I like that.
Yeah, it's like kind of it's like a kind of crazy situation because you have the responsibility for all the artists. No, it's like everyone is doing like this is like a non-profit thing for everyone.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's not a kind of like what we always try to avoid is like to have the situation of like being an agency and having like a client attitude or something. You know, this also brings also risk that will come up. In the next project, it's like we ask the people like give us a world and we will make make something out of it without changing it completely. So then you get 4 different worlds.
Yeah.
You know, it's that you say like, okay, this is the theme. It should look like this. You know, so you can't make like a creative direction like we regularly would do, and so because you have a responsibility for the artwork of the people, and if you do collaboration with no money, you can't force the people to do stuff for free for you. You know, so it's like always this kind of level of like responsibility and being nice to the people that really spend a lot of time to bring something to make this project happening. And also like on this way, maybe somebody is watching. Thanks a lot to everyone who's involved because we are just like 2 people or like some more, but like 70 people are involved or more right now. And thanks to all of you.
Yeah, there are a lot of people talking in the background. I'm not sure if it's possible to.
Yeah, because they are still, for example, they are sitting 15 people right now, drinking a beer after like a long day.
That's what they should do, I think. Yeah, but it's really nice, like to have really this detailed insight, because perhaps you can talk a bit about, and that's also when we take Looping Lovers in, about what you're doing right now because you're producing the second video right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one about?
So it's like a. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, she's gone, right? Yeah. It's
no. Okay, so like the next one is like a drum performance by Fido, and like the idea was like to do something very dynamic. That's not like a music video, like a regular music video. That has a character of like a performance in it. And so first we asked Philo, who's like a really skilled drumming woman, and she said like, okay, I'm in it. And then from this point we explored CGI artists, for example, the great and amazing Looping Lovers. To explore this with us, and but we decided for this that we really go immersive. So that we bring in like the craziness of extended reality. Okay, maybe Looping Lovers is not so nice because they're
destroying the stage right now.
Oh no!
deconstructing some stuff. Yeah, so like this is like the main topic. Like it's a drum performance and CGI worlds, and you fly through these worlds, and we ask like friends of us, a director friend, Niels Thomsen, hey, are you up for doing your first extended reality shoot? And so, and build it up, build it up, build it up. And yeah. So we will do it completely different to the first one, to like for everyone to explore and to learn. And yeah, but this is also like our aim to always do it different, like to always have a one-off.
Yeah. Okay. Before we talk about it in a bit more detail, because I'm not completely sure if I've completely understood it, but there is a question on the chat: what the difference is between the system that you're using there and a classic green screen setup?
Oh, it's a huge difference because, for example, if you have a green screen setup and you have this, it's a way. You have like a hole in your hand. It's like this. Like with all the reflections from light and from LED, like we have like like the whole roof is full with light. So you can light all sceneries. Like in a regular green screen, you have like a perfect foreground and a perfect background to have like the opportunity to key it. And here you have like reflections and like you can play with the light itself the whole time and you see it. Like it's not like a post-production process with a shitty click 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 masking. So so it's like you can have hair like me right now after a really long day. It's okay, you know. So and depth of fields and everything. You can also for actors who are on stage, they see what's happening. You know, it's not like kind of in a green box where you just like pretend that something is happening.
Yeah.
So it's really happening.
But
So
yeah, and it works like that. I mean, your camera is tracked, and the whole thing is running in Unreal.
yes.
Oh, how does that? Yeah.
Our big friend Unreal. So yeah, it's like Unreal is a fantastic engine for gaming and everything. And in the context that we use it, it's not so highly explored tech. So because you have to build something in between, like you have like Unreal, but it's not Unreal and then out. You have some steps in between to implement the tracking. Like, for example, what we do is like the extended reality is not only the background, it's also your foreground. So you have parallax, no? Um, uh, and you have the camera tracking, for example, that everything that's above the stage, no, is like also Unreal. No? It's like here's
Okay.
Unreal. No, it's not limited on the stage place itself. Like we could turn around the camera 360 and would have like you're in a game, but you're physically.
So it's also controlling the LED, the normal lights on the ceiling.
You can like you can
It's everything connected.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can program light in Unreal and it's translating into the light here.
Yeah, crazy.
But only with a fantastic guy like Zeppel who is able to make this happen. So it's like one of the biggest learning is like that you really like to have kind of this studio running with like LED floor, so you have to work with pros. It's like so like for example, like people are sending their Unreal projects, but if it runs on your computer, it doesn't mean that it runs here. So,
Okay.
and there's like a fantastic guy, Simon Hebeiks, who I really could. Simon, over there.
You see a hand.
He
Yeah, well.
was taking care about all the Unreal project that came in and fixed them that they are running here because it's like spending like let's say 5 to 7 days in here, and it's still mind blowing how this kind of thing works the whole time. It's really really interesting, but really exhausting also.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and therefore you have to have really like VPs and people who are really getting into the deepness of all plugins on everything, you know. If you run it on disk highs, no? Like here, for example, it's like a disk highs machine. So Unreal is talking to disk highs is talking to everything else. So
What's this,
and
guys? What does it
disk
do?
highs is like a media server.
Ah, okay.
So it's like Unreal is just like the is it the engine? No, I don't know. So
Yeah, it's called Unreal Engine, but this is software.
yeah, genau. So it's like software who's talking to the media server, and the media server is taking all tracking data,
Ah, yeah, okay.
layering foreground, background. Blah, 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 blah. So it's like it's not native out of Unreal. It's like kind of there's like a step in between, and there are also other studios like XR studios are popping up in the whole world right now, but they are all like a little bit different. For example, Hyperball that we really like. Uh, Thanks to Innohense and greetings, having like a huge wall and a ceiling with LED that's like really nice. And we have like a floor, and this is like kind of a this is like the twist with us. And he's more on cinematography, and we are more into kind of streaming stuff that's happening live. So this is a little bit more our focus. But with We Love XR, we explore like everything that we can explore.
Yeah. Yeah, the
To bring
Hyperball
it
is
to-
also much bigger, right? But it's like a different focus. Like they're more producing like advertising
focus,
campaigns
and
and
it's also
stuff.
like it's a different tech. Yeah, like I don't want to get too much into
No,
details
yeah.
because I think I shouldn't talk about it. But here are some specialties implemented that are not in a regular set where you just like have a background and a tracking system. Here is like a little bit more stuff
Yeah.
implemented and like different stuff. But everything it's like also in Hamburg there are like studios popping up. Babelsberg, like you the extended reality, like that we are going beyond like a screen. Like
Yeah.
you can turn it on always.
Yeah, yeah. We'll also be talking about the Hyperball.Studio actually in a few weeks because we also did a project there, also with Zeitgeist. But that's something we'll talk about in a later.
Can I ask you a question? Is there
Yes.
Chrome involved?
Yes, there is Chrome involved.
So I know about that.
There's a mirrored car involved in that project, and yeah, but more details about that in a
Yeah,
few
okay.
weeks, I think. Yeah, nice. It's super interesting. Like I would be interested in learning more about like the drum thing. I used to be a drummer myself. I didn't play for quite a while, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to call myself that way anymore. But perhaps he's been waiting for quite some time. Perhaps we'll also take Thomas. Is he still there? Is he asleep already?
He's
Wake up.
What's up, team?
But wait a second. His connection was broken though. Now we can see him.
we have the same internet.
Yeah, perhaps you can tell us a bit more. So there's this woman playing the drums. What else is happening? What will we be seeing there next week?
Well, I guess besides the other artists, there's loads of stuff happening in the space. From our side, it's like a LoopingLovers signature move of like moving and floating bodies that are like circulating around the artist. And we also had like a lot of Chrome involved. This was definitely challenging to bring like our aesthetics into Unreal Engine, which like we come from a Cinema 4D background. But it's also super cool to see how fluid the transition works from Cinema 4D, and it gets very like easier and easier to transform stuff into Unreal Engine. And yeah, so we worked for a couple of days in this new field, and we have like somehow the drummer fiddle play inside of a hand, and everything goes in front of and behind the drummer. And this was somehow super challenging when Yo told us like, oh, we can be in front and behind the drummer, because that was like for me that tricky to understand how to be in front. Like I understand the logic behind the extended screen, but what then happens in the end in real time and where the magic happens is like, wow, when I came here, I was like, okay, that's how it works. And I feel like it's funny how mind blowing it is because you somehow try to imagine. And I think you have seen all the effects before in YouTube videos and whatever kind of Unreal inside videos, but seeing it in real time, live on stage, is like different level.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why.
Yeah, and do your graphics react on the performance, or is it pre-produced? Like, how does it work together? You're kind of frozen, by the way. Perhaps you can, you and Rio, perhaps you can turn your computer. I'm not sure why the other one. So we go to this screen again.
Yeah.
Have a more fluid.
Our project is completely pre-produced, as far as I know, because our skills for Unreal are limited so far. But I think we're gonna dive in more and more. But I've seen the other projects from Zeitgeist and so on. They're like more interactive and based on the drum kits, what's happening. Also, the one with the pyramid, the lights. That was kind of cool to see how it generates an atmosphere once she drums and it goes along with everything. So diving into this soon, try to put more stuff on that. But
And how many artists are involved in this one? 4 or 5 in this? 4.
4 digital artists and Philo, the drummer,
Yeah, sure.
and Simon, who is doing the Unreal implementing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like Moritz Mössinger, like a very fantastic DOP, and Christoph Greiner, like a crane operator. You know, like everyone here on the creative side is like really they all joined for free to have a first hand impression, and that's really yeah, like everyone had it for the first time.
well,
Yeah.
that's what I have to say. I'm super happy that I'm like able to join because otherwise, for me, like I'm happy to do something for free, but being able to join a project like this, where because otherwise I could never be in a big hyperbole for like a normal creator, let's say. I think it takes like a couple of more years till this is like more and more established. That's
Yeah.
thanks from my side.
Yeah, hey,
And how does it work? Like, you have the 4 digital artists, like each doing like 1 minute of the performance, or how does it work? Or is it
Yeah, kind of.
intervened? Yo, we
It's
don't
like,
see you right now, by the way. Yeah, like this.
Okay.
So it's like kind of the piece itself is short, and it has 4 parts with the kind of tempo of the drumming and like what Philo plays, and the words are separated from each other and playing one after each other, and Philo has like uh, can I show you? This is Kalle. He's like very, 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 very ultra skilled. Like if you have a problem, Kalle can fix it. And so there's like a like Sunhouse drum kit. It's like kind of a tracking system on the drums.
Okay.
And so when she hits it, it has like 12 notes as a tracking, like how fast. No, Sunhouse, like they're like kind of little, like if this is here the drum, they're like here, and it looks like a camera or something, like a sensor. It knows where you hit it and how deep you hit it. So you have like 12 informations from one tom, for example, and you can like we had like 3 trackers, and so you have like 36 trackings. So, and then you can, for example, like Vanta Gonzalez, thanks a lot, Vanta, for joining us. He also did the XR world for the spoken word performance. So he was like the guy who was like collecting all the typographies and placing them in the space. So and animating. So he is like doing like kind of in a way kind of pyramids, and there are lasers coming out, and there are clouds, and the lasers shoot the clouds and they disappear, and so every pyramid in a way and all some other particles floating around are like when Philo hits it, it shoots.
Yeah, so it basically translates the physical drum kit into MIDI notes, basically, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
and this is the interactive part. We also thought about just like doing more with black tracks and just like kind of like with a mocap suit. But then we thought like, okay, maybe it's too much again. Try to concentrate on basic stuff. That's like, okay, like there's like a fantastic drummer, there's a fantastic drum kit, and you know, you have a tracker. End of story. So and maybe next time, you know.
And when will it be released? Next week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday you will release it, and it's. Are you like? Do you have more shooting days now? Like you were shooting today, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like for 12 hours here in the studio.
Yeah.
Or is it even more?
No, it's 36 hours in a way. It feels like a lifetime. No, it's like no, like we had really long days. Like we had like 3 preparation days. Thanks again for everyone who made this happen. And it's yeah, it's in a way the difficulty is like really to implement Unreal projects that really run smooth in Unreal into like this kind of space. And I know like we know a lot of people who are also working in other or like had bigger projects also in other XR studios, and it's all the same. So there's no like every project has this moment of like, shit, it worked. Now it's not working. Does anyone know? And then you have to dig deep. So, and this is a kind of process it's still there, and I think it will be there in 1 year and in 2 years, but then it will get standard because as Vanta said, like it's not like something that's just like a trend or something. Like it's let's say these videos or so, you know, where it's like it's like a cool thing. Thing is opening different possibilities. If like when Unreal 5 is on, then the performance is like, and then
That's what I can say also as a creator, like how easy all the 3D software becomes more and more, also like more accessible with softwares like Blender, which is like for free. Like I think boundaries will like be cleared down. And also what I see how easy it is to jump into Unreal. I see like so many like just switch directly to Unreal. It's like way more reactive, has way more potential to be used in a way, and it's so capable, especially with the new release that's like coming up soon. But
Okay.
how easy it is to just dive into and create massive worlds, it's insane. I was blown away by how simple some things are that are like equally like complicated to do in Cinema 4D, for example. And that was just wild, like how you can create worlds, walk around it, and you see everything directly there, which in Cinema 4D is not that simple.
Yeah. So where do you see in general, see the potentials of these kind of XR rooms? Like, what do you think they will be used for in the next years?
I think gaming will be like a part soon. Like arcades became also more and more famous in recent years. We had like VR arcades because like for the normal user or consumer it's still expensive. But I think the whole tech world is like exploring new ways of interactions where you like go away from the classic keyboard and mouse systems. And we know big simulators that we have like in theme parks for a long time. So why not seeing one of these in Disney World and then soon I don't know, at home? Like, I don't know. It would be like somehow easy to see this transition.
Yeah.
Like
But
the same with like, cameras that were like super exclusive for big studios, and now everyone had like DSLR, and now we have great phones. Like that becomes more accessible.
yeah.
so like
Ja, ich kann mal rutschen.
I'm all good.
Nein, was? Auf gar keinen Fall. So, like all film production, this is something that's really what we expect will be like one of the biggest driver. No? Like the gaming plus film is like big budget, and they will push it. On the other hand, as we all figured out, that's maybe not so clever to travel for business all around the world in airplanes. No? So there will be a lot of presentations and like keynote stuff where you have like an immersive experience. So and you really get it deeper. Yeah, well, they are calibrated. No, no, they maybe they want to watch a film. Danke, Kalle. So like these are the biggest drivers, and they will make stuff happen that's not thinkable right now. So it's like this is so new in a way. Like some bigger film productions did it like 2 years ago, and they're like really like heavy experts in the States. So, but for the German or like the European market, it's like a kind of really new thing. And it's like green box. I don't want to say like let me say like this. I wouldn't build up a green up studio anymore. So I wouldn't invest in green box. So.
Yeah. Even though this is, yeah, I mean, but Greenbox also is not easy to do. You were saying like there's a lot of post production normally involved in that, manual post production partly also. Yeah.
But here, like a lot of pre-production is necessary. That's the focus shifts a little bit from the post to the to the before. So like you have to really take care about the project. Like you can't like throw stuff around just like there's a plugin there. This looks nice, and then expect to run like it will run on your computer with like 15 frames or so, but like to make it run here in like 100 frames or so, what's really like what you can't imagine. Like when you see the end results, it's always like kind of okay, there's a 3D world and there's a person in. But if you are here and you see what's happening with the background and the foreground when you move the crane camera, so the resolution changes and it looks like you also had it in Hyperball, right? So so like if you move the camera, the whole perspective is changing and it doesn't make any sense to you when you stand 3 meters away from the camera axis. So there's like really a lot of crazy stuff happening that you can just have like understand when you're here. So like, for the first one, we had a like a DOP. It took him 2 days to really get it. But then but for him, he had the chance to explore it, and he's like 2 days in advance of all the others.
Yeah, it's funny because like I've been working like in cave systems. Like before we had like Oculus Rifts and stuff, there were like, cave systems for virtual reality. So basically walls that had back projection on. The better ones also had floor projection, like a back floor projection and top projection. And it's basically a cube and you have a tracked glasses. So you also have this effect. But yeah, that was kind of, So I kind of know this system a bit, but that was also very, very complicated 10 years ago already. Yeah, it's interesting that this is so much going in the film industry right now. But I also had a technical question about like, how do you do it with the foreground? I understand how you do it with the background, but how do you put stuff in front of people? Or how do you know where the people are? Because you don't.
You know, because you put a center actor, and then you have to separate your scene into foreground and background. It's it was easy 5 days ago, but then they made a new update, and now it's getting complicated again. So, there was a moment where you could say like, okay, you foreground, you background, and now you have to click, and then foreground. So yeah, you have to select it, and so you have you can also select it that it's for a time in the background, and then it's getting into the foreground, and you get to the background, so it can circle around you also. But it's like still a process of doing it manually, but give it like 3 months or like a year, I don't know, and then it will know.
Yeah. Yeah, we have been talking so much, Thomas. I thought we were talking more about your stuff as well. I'm very sorry, but we should still do it a bit. Perhaps you
Yes.
can, like you said you're working with buddies. I also showed your Instagram briefly in here. No, that's the wrong one where we don't see you. This one is the right one. Perhaps you can tell us a bit more about your studio and also about your approach to this project.
So I'm part of the studio that's like based in Hamburg, the Philippines, and me here in Berlin. Um, we started basically as content creator since we are in uni to explore cinema 4D, which was back then for us kind of the hottest tech that we got our hands on. We also have a background in industrial design and interaction design. So for me, interactive installations are somehow a bit familiar. And back then, we explored that like cinema 4D and humans go well together. You can have like humanoids that you can somehow build a connection to when you put them in the space and you transform them for whatever, and explored this kind of design direction over the last 6 years to be at what we can see there now. Faces covered with colors. There's also like XR room and this project in the for NFT release with an artist from Hamburg. And so I don't know, like digging into like this almost like as a daily artist for a long time, you develop a certain aesthetics and direction of style that you explore deeper and deeper and come up with new and new styles. For us, this is exciting in a way to have like a change with an XR room, because being limited by what we have on the screen in a daily life becomes at one point boring. Um, so when we got in touch with Yo about this, we got super excited to have like the chance to be in a whole room, encapsulating somehow things within the experience. So in the beginning, I was overwhelmed because I had no clue about what is possible and what is not possible, and how fast you can get into nice results that go with our chromatic kind of aesthetics.
Yeah, and what did you go for? Like, what are the things that you did for the project?
What we did was like basically all the stuff that we do here as well. We have like bodies that move in space that have like this floaty, slow aesthetic. Um, we have bodies that like basically some of our first posts that I've like done 5 years ago. We transformed them basically into this XR experience where they're like going around you. They are like these posts, and we put it as well like everything chromatic, which is interesting in Unreal because chrome and reflection based objects behave completely different in real time than they do in pre-rendered stuff where you can put on so much details in render quality. So that was interesting to find their balance in the aesthetics that we're used to develop to the aesthetics that are possible within this new space.
Interesting. How did it feel for you to have it on the big screen and like in this kind of setting?
It's insane. I double check constantly on my computer in VR to see how it could feel if everything is around you. And VR is already great when you build up this big world and you can like easily feel lost in it. And this was then here similar, because here's like this massive room and you have like this massive screen and you sit there and you feel so small. And that was something that I wanted to somehow create, something that like the drummer is very small in the big hand and there's like even bigger bodies around you, to get like this kind of contrast, because we always measure us as we are like a unit, we're 2 meters tall, but in VR or in XR everything is like possible in terms of scaling, and going big was definitely something that I wanted to explore.
And how do you create something in VR, or do you use how do you use VR in your daily work? Like,
I do use loads of tools in VR to like Masterpiece or 3D painters to create just 3D shapes in space. Because sometimes when you do like very detailed modelings, it's it's way more direct when you are doing this in VR. You can go around the model, you paint stuff on it, and that gives like a huge advantage to be very detailed about small bits, and therefore VR is great. And also for a project like this, just to see it in advance and to get a better feeling, because in the end, you're not limited to a screen. You're like enabling a world to be around an artist, and therefore VR was great to preview it in Unreal and dive into it and tweaking it and seeing, oh, maybe I should make these things smaller and bigger and tweak a bit more the God rays or the reflections to get the result that I was looking for.
Nice. And yeah, while when you're working with buddies, kind of in a way, a lot, have you looked into the meta-human thing that Unreal will have soon, or that is in beta right now? Because that sounds like exactly like your thing, right?
I'm still on the waiting list to get my hands on it. Like, I used other tools to also have like this motion capture system at home that you can move your head and the 3D body reacts to it, which is already, I don't know, it's great if you also have like some of these posts where you like rap along or something. And this comes with completely new challenges because from a creative perspective, you become an actor that tries to perform, which is awkward when you're in office and everyone is like doing this shit and you start like rapping along with something. So that is wild, but yeah, like these workforce suits and these kind of things would be like super exciting. I did this in the past with like Xbox Kinect to try to, I don't know, move your body along with a 3D character. Still feels awkward when you're not in the right environment to do this.
Yeah, sure.
It becomes more normal and also people get more interested about it and tools getting way more accessible. So that's the great part about that.
Yeah.
And quality also of MetaHuman is mind-blowing what I've seen so far.
I also only know the marketing website. They always look nice. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this, and perhaps it would be interesting for you as well.
100% digging into this also with the digital fashion, what we're looking into for a couple of because Marvelous Designer was a huge step forward into getting garments on bodies. That's kind of interesting, and combining this with Unreal makes like catwalks that is like also happening more and more completely digitally. Big step forward for that part of industry. Besides going from the film industry into the fashion industry, I see there also loads of potential.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you so much. I think we have to wrap it up. I think you said we'll only do half an hour, and now we're 1 hour 15 already.
Hey, I was always here.
Of course. Of course.
Of course. Yeah, perhaps you can tell us a bit more about like where can we see this new thing now, and when do people should go where to see it?
Like,
we will finish it till next week, and the premiere is on Thursday, 17th at 7 p.m. Yeah, and we do it on YouTube, on our website, and maybe on Instagram as well.
So it's like, please give welovexr.com a visit and have a look at all the people who are in yet. And there will come up some more people in the next days, but we are ultra busy. And and there you can also see a little bit about the team in the background. And we are so happy and lucky about all these people who have been open for it, just like to explore this stuff with us, even if it's like kind of social media or like PR or photography. It's like like we get so much support from all sides, and there you can see the people, and they are all really nice and good, and check them out.
Yeah, there are really a lot of people, and you can like browse through and get a better idea of who's involved there. It's not only guys. We have a guys' night tonight. I'm sorry, I'm always trying to not only have guys involved in the stream, but
please come up, please. It's like like all this kind of stuff is like really male dominated still, and we were aiming to find woman for Unreal, and it was very very hard to say like we haven't been able to get one positive result, and that's
Yeah.
like really sad. But I'm quite sure that it will pop up. Like even also like like we are a little bit older, and like we know this scene for like a longer period of time, and like let's say 10 to like 5 to 10 years ago, it was like a completely male-dominated world in the CGI thing, and we had lucky punches to work with Aurora and Marie, and they are like kind of a new breed of designer women, and they are coming like let's say like the girls who are 20 now will be 25 in 5 years, and then they will be really fantastic artists. So even maybe they are still like they're even yet, but no, in a way they can conquer the market. And
Yeah, that
we are
would
hoping for this.
would be nice to see, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like also you, man. You're also like I also saw your post that you're to like looking for women and diverse to join. No? Like what's the response? Like
Some people answer sometimes, but it's yeah, like mainly yeah. Also, when you have open calls, I think men are rather likely to respond. I don't know. So, but what I learned is that you should explicitly ask or encourage everybody to submit something and to step up, and that totally helps. But it's always like yeah, it's kind of this in this intersection of art and tech. There are more men right now still. At least in we're also like kind of like perhaps I hope that's a problem of our old generation kind of, and perhaps I hope I also see that there's a new generation coming up and who have less I don't know problems with touching technology, working with it creatively. I hope that's happening. That would be super nice.
and like, one last tip to like mal kurz warten. Uh,
He's not giving shit.
please go on the like you put the English translation of the poem on the YouTube, right?
Yes.
Can you please go on the YouTube and under the YouTube of like the poem of Sibylle Berg and
Nice.
the poems of Berghan, there's an English translation, so you get a glimpse, and this is like in a way like a little bit also like consonants. So just like to
Yeah, I already posted the link to the video before, but I posted it again in the chat. Yeah, so thanks you guys so much. We will see each other next week for your premiere of the new video. I'm not sure we won't see each other there, but we will. That's the next date. Everybody should note. And then we will do another live stream in 2 weeks. And let's see who's joining us then. I haven't prepared it yet. Always doing this time to time.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys so much. If you, the audience, enjoyed what we're doing, sign up for a newsletter on retune.de and on all the social media channels we have. And also,
put a
we
like.
love XR. Like us on all the channels and follow us on, what is this called? Twitch. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody, have a nice evening and see you soon.
Yes,
Ciao, ciao.
hopefully.